In astrology, the first house, often referred to as the ascendant or rising sign, is the house of self. It represents the individual's persona, the way they present themselves to the world, and their physical appearance. The moon, on the other hand, symbolizes emotions, instincts, feelings, and the subconscious mind. It reflects one's innermost needs, the way one seeks comfort and security, and how one responds emotionally to life. When the moon is positioned in the first house of the natal chart, it creates a profound interplay between these elements, leading to a distinctive personality and life experience. The emotional persona. Individuals with the moon in the first house often wear their hearts on their sleeves. Their emotions are visible and prominent, influencing their behavior and interactions. This placement suggests a person who is in touch with their feelings and not afraid to express them. They are instinctively responsive to their environment, which can make them appear warm, nurturing, and empathetic. However, this emotional transparency can also render them vulnerable to being easily hurt or misunderstood. The first house is associated with beginnings, self-discovery, and personal identity. Having the moon here indicates that the person's emotional life is central to their sense of self. Their moods and feelings are a fundamental part of their identity, and they often find it challenging to separate their emotions from their sense of who they are. This can lead to a strong need for emotional validation and reassurance from others. Emotional independence and impulsivity. The need for independence and the ability to act on one's feelings are significant traits of individuals with the moon in the first house. These individuals often seek to carve out their own path and make decisions based on their emotional instincts. This can manifest as a strong drive for personal freedom and a reluctance to be constrained by rules or expectations that do not resonate with their inner feelings. However, this emotional independence can sometimes lead to impulsive actions. They may react to situations based purely on their immediate emotional responses without fully considering the consequences. This impulsivity can be both a strength and a challenge. On one hand, it allows them to be spontaneous and true to themselves. On the other hand, it can lead to hasty decisions that they might later regret. Balancing emotional impulses with thoughtfulness and consideration for others is a critical lesson for those with the moon in the first house. They need to learn to temper their instinctual reactions with reflection and empathy, ensuring that their actions do not inadvertently harm those around them. The mask of the ascendant and moon. The ascendant, or the cusp of the first house, is a crucial component of the birth chart because it describes the individual's outer persona and the first impression that they make on others. The sign of the ascendant, combined with the moon's influence, shapes how these individuals are perceived by the world. With the moon in the first house, regardless of the ascendant sign, there is a tendency for the person to appear emotionally expressive and approachable. They may come across as friendly, caring, and empathetic. These individuals often have a natural ability to connect with others on an emotional level, making them popular and well-liked. However, the outward appearance created by the moon in the first house can sometimes be a mask. Despite their seemingly outgoing and gregarious nature, these individuals can be quite shy and reserved on a deeper level. They may struggle with moodiness and emotional fluctuations which are not always apparent to those who see only their external persona. This duality can create inner tension as they navigate the discrepancy between how they feel inside and how they present themselves to the world. Emotions overrule objectivity. One of the defining characteristics of individuals with the moon in the first house is their difficulty in separating their emotions from their rational thoughts. Their feelings are so integral to their identity that they often find it challenging to approach situations objectively. This can lead to a subjective perspective where their personal experiences and emotions color their understanding of events. These individuals often feel their way through life, relying on their emotional instincts to guide their decisions and actions. While this can make them highly empathetic and in tune with the needs and feelings of others, it can also result in them taking things too personally. They are easily hurt and can react defensively when they perceive a threat to their emotional well-being. The challenge for those with the moon in the first house is to develop a greater sense of emotional balance. This involves recognizing the value of objectivity and learning to step back from their immediate emotional responses to gain a clearer perspective on situations. By doing so, they can make more balanced decisions and take into account both their feelings and the practical realities of their circumstances. Self-centered tendencies and emotional intelligence. The moon in the first house often bestows a gentle and soft appearance with a natural inclination towards comfort, pleasure, and luxury. These individuals may have a strong will to fulfill their own needs and desires, sometimes to the point of being self-centered. They can become so wrapped up in their own emotional world that they struggle to consider the needs and feelings of others objectively. In extreme cases, this self-centeredness can manifest as a tendency to want what they want when they want it, without regard for the consequences. However, it is important to recognize that this behavior is often driven by a deep need for emotional security and validation. When they feel secure and understood, they are more capable of showing consideration and empathy toward others. Despite these challenges, individuals with the moon in the first house possess a high degree of emotional intelligence. They have an innate understanding of their own emotions and are often able to read the emotional states of others with remarkable accuracy. This intuitive insight allows them to navigate social situations effectively and respond to others' needs with sensitivity and care. The see me, love me quality. A notable trait of those with the moon in the first house is their intense need for attention and admiration. There is a childlike quality to their desire for recognition and love, which often drives them to seek validation from others. They want to be noticed, appreciated, and admired for their talents and abilities, whether in their personal relationships, career, or the broader world. This need for attention can lead them to pursue paths that place them in the limelight. Many individuals with the moon in the first house have a natural inclination towards the arts and creative pursuits. They may be drawn to careers in acting, music, painting, writing, or other fields that allow them to express their emotional and creative selves. Their ability to touch people emotionally and leave a lasting impression is one of their greatest strengths. They have a unique capacity to connect with others on a deep emotional level, which can make them powerful communicators and influencers. However, they must also be mindful of the potential pitfalls of this need for admiration, ensuring that their self-worth is not solely dependent on external validation. The maternal influence. The presence of the moon in the first house often indicates a significant influence from the mother or maternal figure in the individual's life. This influence can shape their emotional development and their approach to relationships. These individuals are often very close to their mothers, identifying strongly with them and seeking their approval and acceptance. In some cases, this closeness can lead to mother issues where the person struggles with dependency or unresolved emotional conflicts related to the mother. As adults, they may carry these patterns into their relationships, seeking the approval and acceptance of others in a similar way. This can manifest as a tendency to become people pleasers, adapting their behavior to meet the expectations of those around them. They may have chameleon-like qualities, intuitively sensing what others want from them and striving to fulfill those desires. Changing fortunes and emotional stimulation. Individuals with the moon in the first house often experience fluctuating fortunes due to their need for emotional stimulation. They thrive on change and variety, seeking new experiences and environments to keep their emotional lives vibrant and fulfilling. This need for change can lead them to frequently change homes, careers, or lifestyles. They may have a love for travel and exploration, finding joy in discovering new places and cultures. Their restless nature drives them to seek out new opportunities and challenges, often leading to a dynamic and ever-changing life path. While this propensity for change can bring excitement and growth, it can also create instability and unpredictability. These individuals must learn to balance their need for emotional stimulation with the need for stability and security, ensuring that they do not constantly uproot their lives in search of the next new experience. Career aspirations and talents. With the moon in the first house, individuals often have a strong desire to do their own thing and express their uniqueness. They are ambitious and entrepreneurial, with a natural talent for connecting with others on a personal level. Their emotional intelligence and empathy make them well suited for careers in the helping professions, such as counseling, social work, or healthcare. Many of these individuals also have a strong creative streak, with talents in the arts, music, writing, or other forms of artistic expression. They may pursue careers as actors, singers, painters, poets, or writers, using their emotional depth and intuitive insight to create impactful and resonant work. Regardless of the specific career path they choose, individuals with the moon in the first house need a profession that allows them to put their heart into their work. They thrive in environments where they can express their emotions and connect with others on a meaningful level. This emotional investment in their career is essential for their overall happiness and fulfillment. Relationships and emotional needs. In relationships, those with the moon in the first house are romantic, generous, and deeply affectionate. They have a strong need to connect with their partners on an emotional level, sharing their innermost feelings and desires. Their sensitivity and empathy make them attentive and caring partners, always attuned to their partner's needs and feelings. However, their emotional nature also means that they require a partner who is calm, stable, and trustworthy. They need someone who can handle their emotional fluctuations and provide the reassurance and support they crave. Trust and emotional security are paramount in their relationships, and they need a partner who can offer a safe and nurturing environment for them to express their true selves. Despite having fulfilling relationships, individuals with the moon in the first house may still experience moments of melancholy. The past often looms large for them, and they may have a tendency to dwell on past experiences and emotions. This introspective quality can sometimes lead to periods of sadness or nostalgia, even when their present relationships are thriving. Mitigating factors. The role of the moon's sign and aspects. The influence of the moon in the first house is not uniform and can vary significantly depending on the sign in which the moon is placed and the aspects it forms with other planets in the natal chart. These factors shape how the individual's emotional nature is expressed and how they interact with the world. The sign of the moon reveals the specific qualities and characteristics of the person's emotional expression. For example, a moon in Aries in the first house may manifest as fiery and impulsive emotions, while a moon in Cancer may result in a more nurturing and protective emotional nature. The aspects between the moon and other planets indicate areas of the personality that will support or challenge the individual's emotional self-expression. Positive aspects such as trines and sextiles can enhance the harmonious expression of emotions, making it easier for the person to integrate their feelings with other aspects of their personality. Challenging aspects such as squares and oppositions can create internal conflicts and obstacles that the individual must navigate to achieve emotional balance. Emotional visibility and sensitivity. With the moon in the first house, emotions are always on display. These individuals are often seen as emotional and sensitive, with their moods and feelings easily observed by others. Their first reaction to any situation is typically emotional, especially if the moon is in close proximity, within 10 degrees of the ascendant degree. This emotional visibility can make them appear nurturing and caring, but it can also lead to perceptions of being overly emotional or impatient. They have a strong need for emotional stimulation and movement, requiring freedom to express themselves and feel happy and fulfilled. Their sensitivity means that they often take things personally, reacting quickly to emotional stimuli. Developing an awareness that others' emotions are just as important, even if not as overt, is crucial for their personal growth and the development of more balanced relationships. Empathy, creativity, and intuition. Individuals with the moon in the first house are often described as highly sensitive, intuitive, and nurturing. They are in tune with their emotions and highly attuned to their environment, making them compassionate and caring individuals. Their empathy allows them to connect deeply with others, often providing comfort and support in times of need. Their creative abilities are frequently expressed through art, music, and other creative outlets. They have an eye for detail and an instinctive understanding of the energies around them, which can sometimes border on the psychic. This intuitive insight allows them to read between the lines and pick up on subtle cues that others might miss. Their intuition and creativity are powerful assets, enabling them to navigate complex emotional landscapes and create meaningful connections with others. However, they must also be mindful of the potential for their emotions to overpower their reasoning and logic. The need for security. A strong need for security is a defining characteristic of individuals with the moon in the first house. They are drawn to secure relationships, jobs, and homes, seeking stability and consistency to feel emotionally safe. This need for security can drive them to prioritize long-term stability over short-term excitement, although their restless nature may still push them to seek new experiences and environments. This dual desire for security and stimulation can create inner conflict as they navigate the balance between their need for a stable foundation and their craving for emotional variety. Finding ways to create a stable yet dynamic environment can help them achieve a sense of balance and fulfillment. Intuition and independence. Individuals with the moon in the first house often possess a strong sense of intuition and independence. They have an inner strength and determination that allows them to pursue their goals and dreams without relying heavily on others. This independence can make them ambitious and driven with a clear vision of what they want to achieve. Their intuitive nature often guides them in making decisions and navigating life's challenges. They may have an instinctive understanding of the energies and dynamics around them, allowing them to anticipate and respond to situations effectively. This intuitive insight can sometimes make them appear psychic, with an ability to predict future events or understand underlying truths that others may overlook. Their independence and ambition are key components of their personality, driving them to achieve their goals and create a life that aligns with their emotional needs and desires. However, they must also be mindful of the potential for isolation, ensuring that they maintain strong connections with others and seek support when needed. The overall influence of the moon in the first house. The moon's placement in the first house has a profound effect on an individual's personality and life path. It shapes their emotional nature, their need for security, and their capacity for empathy and connection with others. These individuals are often highly intuitive and creative, with a strong sensitivity to the moods and feelings of those around them. Their emotional visibility and expressive nature makes them approachable and relatable, allowing them to form deep and meaningful connections with others. However, they must also navigate the challenges of emotional impulsivity, self-centered tendencies, and the need for external validation. Ultimately, the moon in the first house indicates a complex and multifaceted personality, where emotions play a central role in shaping their identity and life experiences. By embracing their emotional depth and developing a balanced approach to their feelings and interactions, these individuals can create a fulfilling and emotionally rich life.